Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. Well, the day started here quite in the red. And this is certainly a warning that the Elliott waves are giving us here, because it has dropped now and at the moment doesn't make any sign of stopping. It has dropped below the 222 level. Now, this is sort of the level or threshold that you normally don't want broken, the 78.6 retrace, for a reliable B wave, basically. Yeah, I mean, B waves can be very diverse, right? And they can spread out a bit and they can extend. But the thing is, because the A wave is basically impulsive, the B wave should not come down that much. Because it does, it increases the likelihood that this wave 4 was already over, something I did highlight as a possibility in the last video, that if we drop below 222 and sustain there, that's what we have to assume. However, not all hope is lost for another C wave to the upside, yeah, into the $4 region. I'm going to add now additional, like the 88.7 fib level. I mean, it's not ideal, but that sort of AB setup is not invalid. It just becomes unlikely. So just for consideration, the next support will be at $2.15. That is the 88.7 fib level. So maybe we find a reaction there. And then we only have the $2.06 level left. If we lose that level, then we basically count the move down as a wave 5 already. And eventually then the primary expectation did work out, in the sense that we will eventually make one more low in Natgas, but just earlier than anticipated. Yeah, I just see this as not strong enough for a wave 4, because normally you want to, I think in terms of minimum expectations, in terms of what you would normally expect for a wave 4, it should have been the 320 level. But then again, it's all likelihoods, it's all probabilities, as you know. So yeah, at the moment, there is no sign it's stopping. I don't see any kind of bullish reaction to these Fibonacci levels. So let's see if it reacts at 215. And if it doesn't, well, then I think it's highly likely that this is breaking, unless it does a double bottom, which is always unlikely. Double bottoms typically don't work out. Well, when you see one on the chart and it worked out, it always looks interesting and impressive. But in reality, in most cases, these fail. Because you really only see them when they worked out. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it can at the moment still work. I still keep an open mind that we could get that C wave to the upside into the $4 region at the moment, but certainly probabilities are reducing in terms of working out to the upside, and we've broken that support, so that means upside is getting much less likely now. Now, again, I always talk about a sustained break. So a brief break below the 78.6 retrace doesn't mean the setup isn't going to work out, but it decreases, obviously, the probabilities that it can still rally in a C wave to the upside. What is a sustained break? Well, that's a bit subjective, but if for example, the 4-hour candle closes below that level and then we don't really get back above, I mean, that is certainly a good sign that it's a sustained break. But then again, we can still come down to the 215 level, because it is an A wave and a B wave. It's not like a 1-2 setup, so B waves can sometimes extend a bit more, but ideally it should have stopped at 222. So that's a bit of a warning sign. I think that's sort of the message of the video. What we need to consider as well is possibly, let me just double check that, what do we get if we draw this trend channel? We might have broken that to the downside already. Yeah, that broke. That is not a good sign. So it broke that trend channel. Let's try that one, even though that's not ideal. So it basically, you connect the B wave top, but that's not an ideal one. Nah, that's not valid, because it's also not the A wave high. Don't worry, just want to try something. Another way of measuring possibly a target is to take the length of the A wave, here highlighted in blue. So that is that. We go to the high of the B wave. So we take the low of the A, the high of the B. Well, the 1-to-1 ratio unfortunately was broken. Yeah, so it did find support, so that was relevant, but it then eventually broke. Yeah, next support would be based on fib supports. Okay, 220 That's the extensions basically. I would not see the 1.272 extension as too reliable. Interestingly, the 1.38 extension overlaps with the with the 88.7 Fibonacci retracement. So we see a little bit of confluence there. Let's see if that holds. And the very last moment where it can turn around is basically the 1.618 extension. But then again, for that, I mean, that's an ideal target for a C wave, right? But then it basically dropped too far to be to be likely. But again, let's see if these are the next support levels. So for now, there hasn't been any impulse to the upside that we could call a bottom is in. So we just need to be focused short term on the downside until we see a reaction here. But yeah, in terms of looking at the bigger picture, for that C wave to work out, it should have already turned around. So things are getting, we need to prepare for the direct drop to new lows in a wave 5. But because we haven't really seen that sustained break yet, I would like to see, before here making a commitment, we need to see how the rest of the day develops and tomorrow morning. And then we can possibly change the count. At the moment, I would still like to leave the count here as it is. The key support levels, I think they are relevant. And what do we need as a first signal that the trend is changing? Before that, we cannot call a bottom here. And so far, we haven't had one actually here. So it would need to be a break above 241. That's the minimum I would like to see. I mean, even better would be a break above 264, but that's quite far away from here. So yeah, I mean, that, Natgas can turn around at an instant. It did that before. It's just that a 78.6 Fib level isn't great if that breaks. So let's focus on that. You should now be aware of all the key support levels, possible trend reversal areas, Fibonacci supports and resistances and targets. And hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.